region. This production is for adults only.
Have you seen the Slash?
Made by users for users. Learn more at www.stonesmiths.ca.
Merry Christmas.
This is the 12 Cultivars of Christmas. From December 1st to Christmas Eve, Dean Millard and Chris Ianson will reveal a different favorite each day. Stay tuned to find out how you could win a Cannabis 101 podcast prize pack.
Well, Chris, we are getting closer and closer to so many people's favorite day where they'll be waking up to cannabis presents under the tree. And we certainly have been trying to make some great recommendations for cultivars in the 12 cultivars of Christmas. And today I am going with another berry, and it's a Goji OG. And this is a sativa dominant hybrid. Don't know exactly what it is on the spectrum of sativa to indica, but it is sativa dominant, and it comes from a pretty interesting lineage. You got Nepali OG and Snow Lotus. And the cultivar, or the LP I grabbed this from, is Quest. It was really tasty. I grabbed some pre-rolls from them, and they're not alone when it comes to the Goji OG. We're seeing a bunch of different producers coming out, and you're going to find out why it's so great. But who else has the Goji OG on the go right now?
So we've got Tantalus Labs. They've got a Pacific OG, and that's their Goji OG. We've got 4A. They've got a 510 vape cartridge. That's a Goji OG flavor. And we've got the Collab. They've got some pre-rolls that are Goji OG. And then, like you mentioned, the Quest, which is my favorite of the group. Those are nice. But I'm also a big fan of those Collab pre-rolls too.
Yeah, indeed. So lots of good choices for people out there. And now we're going to tell you, why maybe you should make the choice, at least my recommendation in the 12 cultivars. First of all, the backstory on this. It's named after the sour red Himalayan berry. And the creator, Bodhi Seeds, found that the Snow Lotus male that they had the size, power, and the resin to be able to blend perfectly with the Nepali OG, and then it kept all those great Kush properties. And I guess that, Chris, is something I don't have any breeding or creating experience, but when you are taking two different cultivars, you're probably worried about one of them overpowering the other one. In this case, it sounds like it blended perfectly, but I imagine that would be a concern for a lot of breeders and creators out there when you're working with such powerful cultivars.
Yeah, totally, Dean. I think with those breeders out there, when they do their pheno hunts, they're going to check their crops of, the same seeds and kind of judge the traits that they're looking for and kind of go that route, and they'll pick their mother plants from there. So, it's a real fun kind of game when you're playing the genetics game and breeding with cannabis there. But they hit it out of the park with the Goji OG.
Indeed. And when you look down the line at, some of the parentage and the lineage, there's a lot of landrace strains that are starting to come into play. You have Nepal, you have Pakistan, you have Hindu Kush. And while Snow Lotus may not be the most, recognizable and biggest well-known cultivar out there, it does have some pretty interesting lines. You have Afgui. We talked about Sunset Sherbet a while back with Mr. Sherbinsky and how well he did going from real estate to cannabis. Afgui was one of the cultivars that he hit it out of the park with, and that has some Maui haze in it. Blockhead has some Pakistan landrace, some blueberry, so that's coming up again. So the flavors in this one are just astronomical. The berry is named after is sour. You get some of that in the smell and the taste, but there's a lot of sweetness as well. And I got a nice energy boost from this. It wasn't massive, it wasn't like I was ready to go run a marathon or anything, but it was a nice just little boost. And just like a personal story, I was working on something, and this is why I take a lot of notes with my cannabis use as I can, because this one was a real breakthrough. I was working on a project, could not get through it. Had some Goji OG of the pre-rolls from Quest, took a break, did something, wasn't intending to to break through, and it just happened. It just did something with my creativity, made me think about things differently. So this is one that I kind of have written down as, let's go back and try it and see what happens. And that's the great thing about, experimenting with different things when it comes to cannabis. And there is some CBD, not massive, but enough to, work in the entourage effect. So I think this one is on my list for future projects, that's for sure. Just to have on hand when maybe I am stuck. Not saying I'm going to get the exact same results, because the experiences set and setting, as we've talked about, could be different, but certainly one that I'll have written down for the future.
Yeah, that's awesome, Dean. It's so nice to hear when people come into the store, or just like your story now with people finding cultivars that work well for them specifically, to help them out with a certain task. I've got my cultivars that my go-tos for cleaning the house, or getting some energy, or some for creativity as well, or relaxing in the evening. And they're my go-tos. I try to keep them in my stash as often as I can. Yeah, it's nice to hear those stories though, because it does mean that cannabis is helping people. It's not just we're trying to break the stigma here. So it's awesome to hear those stories.
Indeed. So yeah, there's another one, Goji OG. Maybe grab that for yourself as a Christmas present, or throw it under the tree for somebody else. But we'll have some more recommendations for you as we go on the 12 cultivars of Christmas. Chris, we will chat with you tomorrow.
Sounds great, Dean. We'll see you then.
A new cultivar each day until December 24th. And you'll want to know the whole list, as that's how you win a Cannabis 101 podcast prize pack. Think of it as a late, great gift for you or someone else. Full contest details at www.cannabis101podcast.ca.
Merry Christmas.